Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to this episode of our show. This is your host, Keith Doherty. Today our special guest is top real estate agent Nancy Macias Morales of Coldwell Banker United Realtors based out of Pearland, Texas. For Nancy, real estate is very rewarding as she has helped many families start new journeys investing their money to gain equity and sharing the pride of being a homeowner. As a top producer at her office, she focuses on always staying busy, educating herself, and sharing her knowledge with others while having fun on the way. As a Houstonian, she is very blessed to live in the city of growth in population and businesses. The strong Houston market has been a huge part of her success, and knowing the city has helped her in guiding her buyers to the perfect home in an area based on their lifestyle. All right, with all that said, Nancy, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Great to be here.
And Nancy, if we could start for our listeners, what led you into real estate? Was it something that you always knew you wanted to do, or did you maybe stumble into it?
Through all my past work experience, I have developed skills to fit in well with people. Specific type of personality is what I have and blend in well. I began working as a loan officer, and that led me to focus only on the transactions for real estate and made me become a realtor. Working with different types of people, having the flexible schedule is a great fit for me. I cannot and do not like strict schedules working for a corporate job.
And Nancy, can you talk about what personal attributes, traits, or qualities you think have most contributed to the success that you've had in real estate?
Yes, I am a strong-willed woman. I am kind enough to be liked. I'm a go-getter, good negotiator, I would say. I manage my time well, always have a solution to a problem. I have developed a lot of these skills throughout my childhood experience dealing with two brothers of mine. I am the only girl and developed that competitive heart. At the end of the day, I always wanted to get my way, but with the right negotiating skills that I've developed with them, it's worked out. I also love sales. Being in sales has been challenging as well. Getting rejected so many times is part of it. So many no's has helped me gain experience through get all the objections.
And do you think you could give our listeners an example of when these traits have played a role in your path towards success?
Well, one scenario had me deal with a builder that wasn't keeping with contractual agreements with my buyer. The builder had slacked off on quality. My buyers were so busy. They're, of course, professionals and relied on me to put pressure on the builder. At the same time, I managed to sell their current home while making sure they had a temporary place to live in while building their own new home. This situation, of course, involved strong negotiation skills with the builder and the customer. It also involved coordinating many timelines so that my client could have a smooth transition without adding, of course, stress to their busy lifestyle.
And Nancy, I think when anybody builds a successful business or has a successful career, sometimes getting there's bumps along the road. Can you talk about some of the adversities and trials that you had to overcome in order to achieve your goals?
Working long hours, weekends, holidays, and always available to my clients is one of my highest priorities. This is challenged with the greater priority of my family and kids. With, of course, my great support system and time management, I have been able to have both the career and family. It gives me the enjoyment for both. My kids know that when mommy's out with a client, I'm working for a greater cause of improving their future and lives.
And Nancy, as these obstacles come up, as you hit these, what kept you going despite these obstacles? Why didn't you give up? What was your driving force?
My mother has been the biggest supporter as she cheers me on every day. To her, I'm like her everything. I know my kids are watching my success as I know that I'm able to be an example to them. I believe that God gives me these challenges because he knows I can handle them well.
And Nancy, looking forward, what do you see as your vision for your business and your career over the next 5 years?
I do plan to continue my sales volume to be a top producer in my office. I do plan to develop a team of realtors that have the same vision I do.
And on top of that, what do you feel is the best way you market yourself as a real estate professional so you can have continual growth?
I have a customer base because of my years of experience. I keep in contact with them through phone calls, emails, social media, and newsletters. My customers are a great source of referrals. This helps me, of course, with continually grow.
And Nancy, I think sometimes when the general public looks at real estate agents, they don't fully understand the value that they provide, both from a buyer and a seller standpoint. What do you think the biggest misconception or myth people have about working with a real estate agent?
There's a few, but the biggest misconception is that people think it's easy, and it's really not. Once I explain to them the process from the beginning to the end, the cost involved, they realize that it is challenging. They also realize the amount of time needed for the whole process to go well. They realize that outsourcing the real estate work to a realtor is worth every penny.
And Nancy, let's say you get a call from a family member or a friend, and they're in another state, and they want to sell their home. Now, obviously, with your experience and probably with your connections, you could look up an agent and do a referral, but from a general advice standpoint, what advice would you give them about selecting an agent that could best serve their needs?
I like certifications because it specifically trains and educates that realtor for that specific client's needs. For example, a military buyer or seller would be best fit with a realtor with a designation of MRP, which is Military Relocation Professional.
Excellent. And Nancy, obviously based out of the Pearland, the greater Houston, Texas area, if somebody's looking for real estate services in that general area, what's the best way they can find out more information about you and how you can help?
I am very easy to be found. You could go through Google, which leads me to my website at www.nancyhappyselling.com, as well as the leading real estate website in Houston at har.com.
Excellent. Well, Nancy, obviously we want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come here and share all your professional real estate experience with our listeners. And if you're listening and you want to learn more about Nancy, you can go to her site, like she said. Also below this interview, we'll have a link to her site and any other contact information we have so you can see how Nancy can help you with your real estate needs. So with that said, everybody, until our next show, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Keith.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.